So when we see how people eat in Istanbul, it's like so rich and it's so many different ways. You can eat in the street in many different ways. You can have a doner, you can have a balik ekmek, you can have mussels with rice. So you can eat in so many different ways. And then when you go to shops, you have like from very fancy restaurants to very popular ones. And even when we talk about popular ones, about simple cuisine, when you talk about lokantas, there's so many differences in all the different lokantas and different categories of lokantas at the same time. So by the end of the day, the food culture of the city is as diverse and rich and amazing as the city itself. This time I wanted to look at like one specific type of food and of places, which is the lokanta. It's quite similar to what Tawlet is. Tawlet is a community kitchen in Lebanon where it's women who come from villages or from different regions, and every day one woman would cook like a full buffet of like 15 to 20 different dishes and salads and appetizers, as if we were hosted at her own house for lunch. And lokanta was very much similar. So it's very much about simple, authentic home cuisine, which is very important of cuisine in my opinion, because when we are talking about gastronomy, we're talking about exceptions. You do not eat gastronomy every single day. You go to a gastronomic restaurant only when there is like really a very exceptional occasion. So what we do eat every day and what is really simple and authentic and speaks of us is regular, everyday, simple home cuisine. So it's like an anthropological approach for me. Simple, authentic home cuisine. It's like a way to get into people's mind and life and to get to know them better. This is what amazes me in this approach, and this is why I was very interested to discover lokanta's cuisine, the esnaf lokanta, and all these different ways of having a simple homemade cooked lunch. Well, man and woman, this is eternal dilemma. In my opinion, you know, food and food preparation and cooking is very much a question of the heart. And well, unfortunately, women do beat us in the question of the heart. Not because the men don't have emotion, but I think that the men are more rigid and don't show their emotions as much as women, or don't exist through their emotions in working or cooking and or thinking as much as women do. Women are stronger in my opinion and do let their emotion come in, and they are not afraid of them. So as all of the professional spaces, professional food spaces, restaurants of all levels from gastronomic to street food are all man spaces, and women are rarely there, very rarely there, and if ever they are there, they act very much in a man's way. So they are tough, and not as tough as men, even tougher, because they need to make their way in such a tough environment. So men's cuisine can be interesting, amazing, and all that you want, but there's always more magic and soul when it's women's cuisine. And we're just sitting in front of Mutfak Dili, and when I met the cook in the kitchen, and when you taste the food, it's straight away a different, you know, magic, and there's something, you know, there's a little bit of heart and love, much more than, you know, a regular, perfect, you know, big dishes, big plates, it's all impeccable, it's all working great. Yes, that's wonderful, but, you know, it's lacks a little bit of sparkle. A woman creates life, men do not create life. A man and a woman have sex, they have a kid, it's a woman that is going to bear the kid for 9 months, and it's a woman who's going to give birth to that kid. It's a woman who's going to feed by her own milk, you know, by her own secretions. Can you believe, like, I have some kind of secretion and I'm going to feed a human being from that human milk. So it's like alchemy for me. It's something extraordinary. I'm a man, you know, we talk about it. We don't know what it is unless you are being a woman. This is real nurturing. You're nurturing life. You're creating life and you're nurturing. So we can't beat it. I'm sorry for us. Women on the international cooking scene, like unfortunately, in my opinion, are more trying to be like men, which is very, very wrong. You know, they come into the professional scene and they need to fight, so they need to fight more than men themselves, and they get to be more men than the men themselves. In my opinion, they shouldn't do so. They should just bring their own femininity and their own difference, because by the end of the day we are all different. Man and man are different, women and women are different, and women and man are different. So just bring in what you are, and it's going to be wonderful. Don't try to replicate the same. Tawlet is a home kitchen. We call it a community kitchen, where every day it's a different woman from a different region who would come and cook her own cuisine. So I think in Istanbul and even everywhere in the world, we forget a very simple component of cuisine, which is just called, a very, very simple name called home cuisine. Because when we think about food, you know, you don't eat gastronomy every day. You're not eating fast food every day, or some, unfortunately, yes. You're not eating street food every day. So the one thing that you do eat every day is that just you go home, you cook something yourself, or you have something in the fridge, and you just eat it. So there's a very component of food in our lives, which is called home cuisine, that we completely forgot about, and that we completely omitted. You know, sometimes like some people don't even know where their kitchen is. They don't even use their kitchen. So in my opinion, we just need to rediscover a very important component of our lives and cuisine, which is home cuisine, simple, authentic home cuisine. There's no perfect place. Each place has its pros and cons. There are some places that speak to my heart, not to my belly. It's not a question of belly. That speak to my heart more than other places, but it's all like wonderful. And what's wonderful about it is that it's a real tradition that answers to a real need. It's people who are in the street or in the offices and that need to eat fast, simple, and good food, not very meaty, not expensive, simple home cuisine. It's a replica somehow of the home cuisine in a faster and simpler way. And when it's a true expression of a need, a solution for a need, this is the most authentic thing that can exist.